The Redmi Turbo 5 Max, starting at $2199. Do you think it's expensive? I just bought the Redmi Turbo 5 Max. I paid for it myself, completely out of my own pocket, so you can watch with confidence. Remember to follow me. We don't have any official subsidies here, so I joined a third-party one. I bought the 12 plus 512 version for $2250. The Redmi Turbo 5 Max, starting at $2199. Do you think it's expensive? Smartphones equipped with a similar Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 processor typically start at around $2399, so Redmi will be about 200 yuan cheaper. But for the 512GB version, Redmi is $2499, while competing products are generally around $2899, so the 512GB version will be approximately 400 yuan cheaper. Therefore, I believe the 512GB offers better value, and it's the version I recommend more. Of course, for those who wait, it will definitely be cheaper later. You can refer to the current price of the Redmi Turbo 4 Pro, which is around 1200 yuan. This is its charging set, still an A to C data cable, and the 100-watt charger isn't particularly large. It's a single-cell 9000mAh large battery, so even with a 100-watt charger, the charging speed shouldn't be particularly fast, definitely over an hour. I'll give you a detailed test later. Here's the SIM ejector pin, then a skip this series, and inside a protective case, a silicone protective case, excellent. Let's take a look at the phone. I bought the white version. Its screen size is 6.8 inches, making the whole phone quite substantial. It also features a design with large rounded corners. The frame is made of aluminum alloy with a red accent. This is the bottom. The other side has no buttons. The top has speaker openings. Its speakers are symmetrical, dual 11-15F speakers. The back is made of fiberglass and the overall feel is still somewhat like plastic. Honestly, I'd still prefer the feel of glass, and then there's the Turbo series' traditional design with vertical dual cameras, and around them there's also a ring of lighting effects. Then comes the flashes position. Below that, some sensors are integrated. This white version's bottom has some subtle patterns, creating a simple design. The surface is actually seamless with a frosted texture. The white doesn't really show fingerprints. And then Redmi's red logo. What do you all think of its overall look? You can interact via bullet comments. It's a safe, rather conventional design. The rear camera is still a dual setup. The main camera has an aperture of f1.6, and then there's an 8-megapixel filler wide angle. So in terms of camera configuration, this phone is quite behind its price range, because at the same price point you either get a solid periscope telephoto lens or a 200-megapixel main camera. The phone's thickness is 8.15mm and its weight is around 224 grams, so it's not a very lightweight phone. In terms of integration, it features an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, which is well placed, and the recognition speed is quite fast. This is its default wallpaper. You can see that the bezels are pretty much equally wide on all four sides. The bezels aren't particularly narrow, but it's acceptable for this price point. For the display, we'll directly select the maximum 120Hz refresh rate. Compared to other gaming phones in the same price range, this does present some disadvantages. For example, competitors already offer a 144, a 165, or even 185Hz displays. For a gaming phone, 120Hz is a bit outdated now, as many popular mainstream games today already support 144 or 165Hz. Its eye protection uses DC dimming for high brightness and 3840Hz high-frequency PWM dimming for low brightness. Regarding the color styles, we can see that it only offers professional primary color and vivid. It lacks options like natural, vibrant, or true color display. Furthermore, it doesn't support a global always-on display, only this localized, partial always-on feature. Although it uses the same M10 luminous material as Xiaomi, this one seems to be a downgraded version. However, the transparency of the white background looks quite good for now. I can only say that for this price point, this screen isn't bad, but it's not outstanding either. The system's default vibration is maxed out. The springy feel of typing is very strong. I suggest everyone turn it down a bit. The texture will be slightly better. For the specs, let's quickly go over them. It has Surge OS 3.0 and the Dimensity 9500s. This processor sits between the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and the 8 Gen 2 Ultimate. It's not as powerful as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 Ultimate, and also not as good as the Dimensity 9400 Plus. It's quite similar to the Dimensity 9400 Plus. This is roughly where this processor stands, and it's perfectly fine for the 2001 price point.
It's a pretty powerful processor. It can handle 99% of games, no problem.
And the battery capacity is 9000 mAh. This battery capacity is quite substantial. I'll conduct a detailed test of its signal later. As for its speaker setup, it features dual 11-15F units. This configuration is comparable to the Redmi K90. It's an upper mid-range level, but not quite on par with the K80 Ultra or the K90 Pro Max. For the camera, let's take a quick look. It has a 0.6x ultra-wide, 1x and 2x zoom. This is a fairly standard performance for this price range. For video, it supports 4K 60 frames, 1080p also supports up to 60 frames, but no 120 frames. The front camera is capped at 1080p 60 frames, which is somewhat average. Other peripheral features include full waterproofing with IP66, 68, and 69 ratings. This is a quick unboxing overview. The phone's initial feel and build quality are good. As for the design, it's subjective, leaning towards a minimalist style. The 512GB version offers excellent value for money. Overall, this phone's features aren't very prominent or obvious. It's just a well-balanced phone in the 2000 price range. It comes with a large battery and a high-performance processor. It's quite comprehensive in other areas too. There are no obvious shortcomings, but no particularly outstanding strengths either. If you haven't owned one, please remember to follow. Self-funded reviews aren't easy, so thanks for your support.